Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called We Are One by Ole Ola. And we're going to start off with kind of that intro progression, actually. And there's a cool little bass line, actually, you could kind of follow on the A string, where you could start 5th fret on the A string for kind of a D note, and then we go to 2nd fret on the A for a B note, and then we go to 7th fret on the A for an E note, and then we go to 4th fret on the A for a C sharp, and then we go back to 2nd fret for a B note, and then we could go all the way to 9th fret for an F sharp note, and then we could go to 5th fret for a D, and then we could go to 7th fret for an E note. And if you wanted to kind of follow those notes, actually you could back that up with little chords if you wanted to, kind of a power chord idea, where you could start with an E5 power chord with 1st finger on the A string, 7th fret, 3rd finger on the D string, 9th fret. And if you kind of start with the E and the A and the D, that sounds like an E5 power chord, actually. And you kind of take that shape kind of through that bass line. So we'd be starting actually on the D. You'd have 1st finger on the A string, 5th fret, 3rd finger on the D string, 7 for the D5. Kind of take that shape, slide it down to 2nd and 4th fret for a B5. Then we slide it all the way up to that 7 and 9 for the E5. You can even throw in the low E on that if you wanted to. And then from there we slide it down to 4th and 6th for the C sharp 5. And then we slide it back to 2nd fret for a B5. And then we can slide that shape all the way up to 9th fret for an F sharp 5. And then we can go back to our D5, kind of 5th and 7. And then our E5 with 7 and 9. So if you wanted a really easy way to kind of work that through the tune, you could even work that with kind of a down idea. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of an 8 down count could kind of work through that part. C sharp 5, B5, F sharp 5, B5, E5. Or you could back it up with bigger chords, actually. A lot of these turn into cool little bar shapes. And you could do some things in root position too. So instead of starting on a D5, if you kind of dig on that, you could start on a D major chord, where you do 1st finger on the G 2nd, 2nd finger on the high E 2nd, 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, and if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord and it sounds really happy. Now around Ds in general, it can be kind of cool to lift the 2nd finger, make that a D suspended 2nd actually, and kind of say some things around the D. Or another place to play D major is kind of working off the A string 5th fret. You can take the 3rd finger and kind of cover them over the 7th fret on the D, G, and B, and kind of work that for your D major. And then for the B note, you may want to back that up with a B minor chord, where you can do 2nd fret bar, 2nd finger on the B string, 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the D string, 4th, pinky on the G string, 4th, for the B minor chord. Kind of dig on that. And then from the B minor would be going to an E major chord. And you could do that in a couple places. You could do 1st finger on the G 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A 2nd, 3rd finger on the D 2nd, that E major. Or if you're digging on that bar shape for the D, you could take that shape and then slide that D5 or D major shape over to 7 and 9 for an E major chord, kind of work it that way. And then from the E, we'd be going to a C sharp major. And actually, you could take that same bar shape we're doing from 7 and 9 and slide it back to 4th and 6th for kind of a C sharp major bar. And from there, then we'd be going to our B minor chord. And then we could kind of take that B minor shape, and there's 2 options for this one too, but on the for an F sharp minor chord, we take that shape and slide it all the way to 9th fret. I know that's quite a stretch, going quite a ways up the guitar, but you got bar on 9th fret, 2nd finger on the B10, 3rd finger on the 11 on the D, pinky on the G11. Or you could kind of stay closer to the B minor and do an F sharp minor as a 2nd fret bar, 3rd finger on the A, 4th, pinky on the D4. Kind of work that for your F sharp minor. And then from the F sharp minor, we go to a D major chord, and then we go to an E major chord. And you couldn't even kind of work that as those bar shapes if you're kind of digging on that. So we could work that with the downs too, kind of a D, B minor, kind of have the bigger chords, E, C sharp, B minor, F sharp minor, D, E, kind of through that verse chorus, or through our intro, which kind of becomes our chorus. Now there's a couple other strumming options you may want to play around with too. One of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the D and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, where you could kind of, if you're quick enough, you can take that strum pattern and kind of get the down, down, up to happen twice for each chord. So you have kind of D, D minor, E, C sharp, D minor, F sharp minor, D, or what it kind of sounds like in the recording is you could kind of take that D and kind of do a down, up, up, up. Kind of through each chord. This is weird, but down, up, 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 down, up, 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 down, up, 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 and kind of try and get that to happen twice on each chord. Sounds like it's almost like you'd be doing some left hand muting with that. And I started to do it, then I kind of stopped doing it. But on the D, you could kind of think down, up, and then kind of lift the fingers of the left hand to kind of kill the strings in between it. And I know that's a little weird, but down, up, kill it, up, kill it, up, kill it. So we're going to play around with that with it too. Kind of D minor. And then we'll basically be repeating that. And, oh, another strum pattern there. But yeah, for myself, what kind of feels good with that pattern too is to funk it up. And what I mean by that is to kind of, instead of working an 8th note strum pattern, you could kind of work a 16th note strum pattern. So, and especially later on in the tune, actually on the verses, this works really well too. But what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. And 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite strum patterns is for 16th feel is a long down, 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 up, down, down, down. And what I mean by that is if you take the D and do it down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then on the third beat, you'd be doing an up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you'd be going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So all together, if you dig on this, you'd have down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. Pace for the tune, but you can kind of dig on that feel. So you have the D, D minor, E, C sharp, D minor, F sharp, D, E. Kind of dig on that for that part, and then from there, we'll be going into our verse part. And our verse is this cool vamp, actually. Oh, and we do have kind of a big E hit, actually, at the end of that verse chorus after we repeat that. But then we go into our verse part. And our verse is kind of a vamp on the F sharp minor. So you can even kind of work it as kind of just the down idea around the F sharp minor. Or the down, down, up, down, if you're kind of digging on that. You can kind of work through the verses. Or you can try the double time idea. Kind of do that strum pattern twice. Or you could be digging on the 16th note. Actually, it really kind of feels like the 16th to me. But yeah, you might want to pick away and it feels good to you through that part. And then there's this cool lick that comes out there though. If you wanted to kind of follow those notes, you could play 2nd on the low E, 4th on the D, 2nd on the low E, open D, 4 on the A, and then open A. So it's kind of this 2, 4, 2, 0, 4, 0, 2, 4, 2, 0, 4, 0 kind of an idea. And the bass line, you kind of take that idea into this kind kind of happens later in the keyboard part, is it gets shifted up. So you could even play it 4th fret on the D, 2nd on the high E, 2nd on the D, 3rd on the B, 2nd on the B, and then 2nd on the G. So you kind of dig on that. 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 2. Or you could even kind of put the low E on the 2nd fret F sharp note in as kind of a bass support idea to that, and kind of make it almost like a 2-part. I'm doing that hybrid picking, so I'm using my pick for my basses, but you could kind of do it just finger style too, if you kind of dig on that. So it might be kind of a cool thing to kind of bring out. And then from that verse, then we'll be going back into our chorus part. Now, one other thing I think about adding to the song though is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, you can throw in a bass for the chord. So on the D, you'd have the D for the bass, unless you're doing the bar D. And actually, all those bars that we were kind of working the A string bass line, or initially for with all the A basses, we'd have our D for the bass on root position. B minor would have the A for the bass. E would have low E for the bass. C sharp would have the A for the bass. B minor would have the A for the bass. F sharp minor, you'd have the low E bass, unless you're doing that 9th fret bar, then you have the A for the bass. And then you'd have your D, and then your E, and you could even work that low E for the bass on your E chord. So we can kind of work it as a bass down, up, down, and then have D, B minor, E major, C sharp, B minor, F sharp minor, D for the D bass, E for the bass. Or you could try that idea of double timing it and kind of make that B minor, E, C sharp, B minor, sharp minor, D, E. Might be a cool way to work it. Or you could do the down, up, idea, right? Kind of as a bass up. You could add basses to your 16th pattern and make it a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, down, 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 or bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. So if we tried it that way, you'd have the D, B minor, E, C sharp, B minor, F sharp minor, D, times and doing a big E hit at the end. And then from that chorus, then we go back into our verse part. You could add basses to that idea too, kind of the F sharp minor with a low E for the bass, or you could double time on that, or you could do that. Actually, you could even take the bass up idea, and that might be kind of cool on that too. Or you could try the 16th pattern. Find a way that kind of works for you, or alternating between those different ways actually would be very cool too. And then from there, we'll be going back into our chorus part. So we're back to our D, B minor, E, C sharp, B minor, F sharp minor, D, E. And we end up repeating that 3 times, doing another big E hit at the end. And then we go into our bridge part. And our bridge kind of follows this other bass line where you could play open A, 4 on the low E, 2 on the low E, open E, and then open D, and then we kind of go to 2nd on the low E, open E, and then 2 2 on the A, 2 on the low E, and then an open D, and then open E. And this is a little weird timing wise actually. We start on an A major chord, and so we finally get to a big A, which is kind of the 1 chord. And the way you play A major, first finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the G 2nd, 3rd finger on the B 2nd. So it's a big party on the 2nd fret. We've arrived, yay! So we got A major, And then from there we kind of go to an E major, but you may want to take the pinky and add it in on the low E 4th fret if you can reach it, or kind of get to that G sharp note on the low E 4th fret. You can even leave the 3rd finger out of it if you wanted to, almost make it an E7/G sharp. And then we do a big hit on F sharp minor, and then we do a big hit on a regular E, and then we kind of pick it back up on our strumming. And actually, it kind of feels like almost the double time idea, where you'd have the D, and then an F sharp minor, and then an E. And if you're doing downs on it, it's kind of a D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, F sharp minor for 4, E for 4, almost a halving idea. Then all of them on B minor, all on F sharp minor, all on D, and then all on the E. So you can word that a lot of different ways actually. If you're doing the down, down, up, then you, on that part, on the F sharp minor E, you may want to just do down, down, up. So through it that way, you'd have the A, E/G sharp, F sharp minor, E major, D, down, down, F sharp minor, E, B minor, F sharp minor, D, E. Or if you're kind of digging on the double time idea, you'd have the A, E/G sharp, F sharp minor, E major, D, F sharp minor, B minor, F sharp minor, pick away there and kind of follow it. And then from there, we'll be going back into our chorus part. So kind of our outros. Actually, I really want to hear that A chord again. Make people clap. But that's the basics of how you can strum through We Are One by Ole Ola. So good luck.